Alright, what's going on? Welcome to Johnny and KP show. Johnny is finally here. His
Hey,
it looks like
are we running late?
we are running late, and I blamed you.
Blame me.
Blamed you to everybody. Chris C says, but why? Why are you late? I blame John.
I've actually got subtitles coming up on my Skype.
It's like my subtitles.
Yeah,
Always telling you what I'm saying.
yeah,
That's the best.
that's the best.
That is the best.
In case I can't hear you, man, I can
You
read
can
you.
read it. That's the best. Well,
Yeah.
well, we'll get straight into it. We'll put on as our title. Chris C says it's a normal occurrence that you're late.
Here's the late one, man. Here's the
Oh, I was
5:25
gonna say
man.
I've heard some stories that Chris is the late one, but you know. But yeah, like I said, we'll get straight into it. The heading of our show today is United misfire again. So obviously we're talking about the Newcastle game. What do you got to say about that, man? Obviously we misfired, couldn't score against Newcastle. I mean, they're a fairly decent team. They're no pushovers anymore, but 0-0, Old Trafford.
Yeah, I think our second half was better than our first half. Newcastle should have scored with that. Joel Linton hit the post twice, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have put that one away. But I think we created better chances in the second half. I think we got robbed of a penalty. And Rashford should have finished off the game with the last play of the game.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
a draw is a fair result. But United did misfire. It was an opportunity missed. 2 points dropped. We should win that game, even though Newcastle have improved. But yeah, it's just a couple poor decisions by Ten Hag. I think Fred played a really bad game, and I think taking Ronaldo off 20 minutes ago when you need a goal doesn't make sense either. So
I think a lot of people are losing it about that decision in particular. Didn't sit well for Ten Hag, but a lot of people are saying, listen, we always got our United hats on, Man United that is. People are saying that there was a penalty, should have been a penalty both ways, that we got robbed of one, but a lot of people saying they got robbed of one too.
I think ours was more.
Oh, absolutely, I think so. Listen, tell me it's a Man United hat, doesn't bother me, but they are saying that the way Sancho theatrically went down, that's what they've said today, that's why it's not a penalty. That still doesn't mean, just because whatever, even if he made more of it, the guy still took him out.
Oh yeah, it was a trip.
Like, oh, man, that was VAR it, it's ruining football. Like, I mean, I know it's not a VAR show, but man, just let these mistakes be. Like, do you know what I mean? Either way, no one will be complaining now. They'll just be saying, oh, the ref missed that, the ref missed the other one, whatever. We wouldn't be, because I thought this is what VAR was for, to fix these stupid mistakes, and obviously they're not.
Nah, I think VR this season's been very poor. I think the Newcastle one looked like more of a coming together, but I've seen those ones given in the
Definitely,
past.
definitely.
So there could have been two penalty game.
Yeah, definitely. So the other one we go to is there's a lot of talk about it. Rio Ferdinand today reckons that it was a goal, the one where Ronaldo took the ball. What do you say about that?
So was it the defender passing it back like a little touch
Well, the
to the
defender
kick?
went and then he kicked it about 5 yards to Pope. Like he just, and then Pope
Yeah.
just stood there and Ronaldo went and took it. And I mean, listen, I don't know. Letter of the law, he played the ball, but I don't think
Yeah.
he was meaning to, but
I think it was very smart by Ronaldo, and it didn't warrant a yellow card
no
either.
way.
I
That's the
think that
thing I thought was stupid, the yellow card.
but look, like you said, letter of the law, he did kick the ball with his foot from a stop start and to Pope. So that's normally play on.
Yeah, definitely. Then remember that happened back. Remember back in the day that happened with, was it Nanny?
Top,
Yeah,
yeah,
and Nanny just took the ball and like it was a goal.
Yeah,
I remember it was something like that. I don't remember exactly how similar it was, but it was very similar on the other side at Old Trafford.
yeah. But I don't know if I'd be pretty upset if I was Newcastle, I
Oh,
guess.
definitely,
But
definitely. Well, so we definitely misfired, and I totally agree. Like, a guy that just a week before scored his 700th club goal, and you take him off with 20 minutes to go when you need a goal. When you're going to be, the thing I see about it is you're going to be putting balls in the box, and like I don't get it. Like that ball that Casemiro put in, no one will remember it now because Rashford missed. But that was one, people saying, oh, he's not a passer, he's a destroyer. I tell you what, that was like, it was a beautiful ball outside of the foot, the way, and then, I mean, Rashford should have scored, like, coming from a guy that plays up front, like, I'd have scored that without even trying, I think. It was the easiest header. I don't know what, but, I don't know. It's like, you can't get upset at him. He was.
that would have been bread and butter for Ronaldo for
Oh.
sure. So if it was,
So,
um,
in touching on that game, is it evident that, it's obviously evident that we miss Ericsson, but
yeah,
the more evident thing I think is that we don't have someone to come in for him.
no, we sort of don't have that deep live playmaker.
I mean,
Um,
Donny's injured, so he couldn't come in. Fred can't.
yeah,
It's like, I don't know. His Brazilian passport is, I don't know where it is. He can't pass. Like, I
no,
don't
I
know what.
don't know what type of midfielder Fred is because he's not the best defensive midfielder
I
out
think
there.
he's like.
He can dis- he can disrupt play, but
I think he's like how
I,
Kante. I think that's how I would play him. Like when Kante was in his pomp. Like not so much a defensive midfielder, but just go everywhere, get the ball, but be
mm,
told, just get it and pass it 5 yards. Don't try, and then when you score a goal every once a year or something, it's just a bonus, like don't, just the simple things. Because he
yeah.
obviously doesn't have the pass in his locker like Casemiro.
No. We definitely missed Ericsson.
Ugh.
I don't know. We we don't really play any of those youngsters. Isma is it the
Zidane,
Zidane?
Iqbal. What that's they're the mistakes I think he made more. It's you got 20 minutes to go. What worse could Zidane have done? Like, what worse could he have done to Fred? Nothing. Put him in.
Yeah, it could have been an X factor for
Exactly.
sure.
People don't know
Um,
him.
yeah,
Zakal says, "How you going, man?"
Takar, what's up,
He's
man?
there. He says, "Hello. Hey, Zakal, how are you?" Yeah,
This is
I'm not sure. Zakal, who do you follow in the EPL, man? Let us know. Let us know in the chat. Yeah, it's a real shame. I think that Donny is injured because for me, he's the player that should come in when Ericsson is not able to play. And the fact that I think this sort of, it's like this to me has sort of ended his United career because he hasn't been able to come in when Ericsson's not there. When's he going to get a chance now? Ericsson was sick. He wasn't injured. So, like, I don't know. Mate, I feel for Donny. Like, he's had a real rough time with us. And I think if we had a got him if we had a got him, say, when Ten Hag started with us, he might have had a career with us. I really think Ole ruined him, which is a shame. But I don't see. I see him going. I don't see him being a United player like next season, even maybe after the World Cup.
yeah. I mean, the only way I see it turning around for him if he does go to the World Cup and lights it up and
But how's it going to go? Van Gaal
show
said, "I'm not taking anyone that doesn't play."
exactly. So look, he's Dutch. That's probably the only thing he's got going for him with Ten Hag at the moment. Might give him a friendly start here and there.
Yeah.
But it seems like he's ruining his career at Man United.
I mean, he
So
Ten Hag made him. Like him and De Jong were Ten Hag's two most important players. Like when he had them. So it's
yeah,
weird that he hasn't played. But then again, to go get injured out of nowhere, like it's and when you haven't played, it's like a Phil Jones story. You're getting injured when you're not playing. Like, how can I rely on you as a manager? You don't even want those players.
no, you need people ready to go, especially in a season like we have this year when
Exactly,
there's so
exactly.
Looks not looking good for Donny.
Nah.
I wish him the best, but he probably needs to change clubs. I think it's gone long enough.
Zakal's just upset me, man. He says I follow Man City. It's all right, Zakal. At least it's not Liverpool, all right? At least it's not Liverpool.
Oh,
But
jeez.
you know, it's pretty bad. At least he comes and sports the United
At
shirt.
least there's a lot more Man City supporters lately.
Yeah, it's just they're coming out of nowhere these days. I don't know what's going on. But okay, well, so obviously we're both in agreement. Like, listen, I don't think it's not panic stations. Like, you know, drawing to Newcastle. A lot of like they gave City a run for their money. People got to remember, you know, at the Etihad, I think, not too long ago. So I mean, there's a lot of talk
Yeah,
now that apparently there's a lot of talk today that you're not Ten Hag is going hammer and tongs for Gakpo from PSV, like up front. And I'll tell you what, man, I haven't watched him every week, but from what I've seen of him, this kid is a baller. Like, I won't be opposed to us getting him up front. Like, he's a freak. Apparently, he's had the most goal involvements in any top league like this year. Like, he's
is he a striker or a
well,
winger?
apparently he's playing more central this year. Like, he's playing left wing last year, but he's playing like up front this year, and he's just. I mean, like, I'd go for him. Like, you know, 21, I think he is. He won the Dutch Player of the Year, young player, I think, last year, like Depay did, which didn't work out for us. But he's stayed there an extra year now, so
Yeah, I mean, we definitely need a striker. I think Ronaldo looked very frustrated coming off. Sorry, and I can't see him staying past January. He might stay the rest of the year. I mean, the signs are there that I think he wants to move on.
I mean,
But
like you touched on, what if he goes like, and this is not out of the realms of possibility, especially for him, that he goes to the World Cup and lights it up, like because we know Ronaldo can do that. Like he's lit up a few tournaments, like he lit up at Euros, like he seems to score at those big tournaments for his country. So
I think he needs to go on a bit of a run with United to get a few goals and a bit of consistency, and he might stay on if he makes. If Ronaldo's scoring, Ronaldo's happy. So if he's playing and he's scoring for us,
yeah,
he could stay. So
you know what?
I think
I feel for him. It's like, mate, we didn't create anything the other night. Like whoever was up front, like we didn't create a real clear cut chance till the 90th minute, which is, you
no,
know, like
exactly right.
so. I do feel for him up front. Like without Ericsson, we just, and I mean that leads us into um Wednesday's game, like playing Tottenham at Old Trafford. It's not going to be easy. Where do you see that going? Like Tottenham, I mean, they just I think with the win on the weekend, it's been Tottenham's best ever start to a Premier League season under Conte. So I mean, we all know he's a
Mm.
arguably at the moment he's probably the second best manager in the league. You know, Klopp isn't having the best time of it. You know, he's won everywhere he's gone. Like he's
It's definitely going to be a big test for United. Tottenham are playing pretty good. They're second on the table for a reason. And yeah, look, we knocked off Arsenal at Old Trafford,
yeah.
and
We
we
knocked off Liverpool
always
too.
that's right, and we always play pretty good against Tottenham.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I do fancy us getting the points. I think we need the points more than Tottenham. Um, yeah, look, we have. It's a must-win game.
Ugh.
It's not
Considering we got
Chelsea that
Chelsea
we
on the week, yeah, exactly.
at the Stamford Bridge. We're very tough there,
Oh,
especially the
definitely.
way they
That's right.
and look. This has turned into a must-win game for Ten Hag, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, listen, I agree with this comment here by Genwell. Genwell, how you doing anyway, man? He's come in. He says strikers weren't at fault last game, although Rashford should have scored that chance, but we lacked creativity. I don't get the sentiment that the strikers let us down. Now, listen, I wasn't saying that when I was saying about Gakpo. I said it to John. I don't think we created a chance until the 90th minute. It definitely wasn't. Like I said, I felt for Ronaldo. It wasn't his. It's not his fault. As a striker, you know, unless you're prime Ronaldo or prime Messi, where you can go get the ball in the halfway line and go score a goal. You don't score unless your team makes a chance for you. So
That's right.
I do agree with that comment. They definitely weren't at fault. No way. We without Ericsson, I don't know what's happened to Bruno. It's like Ericsson is our only creative outlet. Like that was the first game for me. Like in the other games, he's been a bit up and down, Anthony, but that was the first game where I agreed with Paul Scholes. He looked so one-dimensional against Newcastle. Like, mate, like my dad could have marked him. He was.
Yeah,
I mean, you sent me a message like, man, does this guy not use his right foot? Like, it was so evident how one. I mean, he was trying to take Dan Burn on, but and then like the bit that was frustrating me is you got this 7 foot guy that's on a yellow card and he stops running at him. Like, fucking go run at him, man. Like, what I don't. Like, what, is that going out the game or something? Like, go get him sent off. Like,
like he always wanted to cut inside, but
always, man.
Newcastle kept pushing him to the wing, so make him try to use his right foot. So he kept using his left, but on the outside, try to curl it in all the time.
Yeah.
Look, I get it. Like, some players can't use their opposite foot that good.
Yeah, but you can try. You can swing and put a cross in with it at least. Get to the byline and cut it back. You don't even have to get accurate on it.
A professional football should be able to at least cross with their weak foot.
Exactly, man.
So,
General says, yeah, totally. We need striker/strikers. He said it's the mid's fault, and he said also Ten Hag, what the fuck, one sub. I agree. Like me and John talked about that. I don't know how late you came in, but how much worse could Zidane Iqbal have done? I think we said. I don't know if Charlie Savage was on the bench. I'm not sure. Garnacho might have been, but like, bring him on. Like, what are they? What did that? When did that ever work? Ferguson. Remember back in the day, he brought that Nick Powell on out of nowhere, scored a goal. Macheda pretty much won us a title. Like Rashford, he was a known body, came on, scored 2 goals. Like, put him in, man. What? How can it hurt?
Just see for one game a midfield trio of Casemiro, McTominay, and Eriksen.
Well, I reckon it's going to be that maybe tomorrow. Listen, Bruno will play, but I reckon Casemiro and McTominay are going to be in there somehow.
But you know what I mean? I feel like give Bruno a break, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
And put Eriksen in that hole, in that number 10. And let
him I agree.
And you might see that Eriksen's moving the ball much better at the moment than Bruno.
Yeah.
Much more okay, so.
Listen, I love Bruno, right? But I think Eriksen's a better footballer than him.
He's dropped off a bit.
Oh, yeah. Listen, I just believe Eriksen, like you said, is a better footballer than him. And I actually don't think he's going to be ready on Wednesday. And I reckon it's going to be Casemiro, McTominay, Bruno. But then he surely has to come in. Like, is Bruno going to play, 3 games in a week? Like Chelsea? Like, because McTominay's only playing, he didn't play on the, against Newcastle. So it could be 2 for him. Casemiro's getting in a run of it now. I don't think you can take Casemiro out of the team now. If it was me, I know he's the captain at the moment, but I'd be taking him out the midfield before Casemiro.
Yeah, I mean, look, McTominay had that suspension of the too many yellows, so you can see him coming back with fresh legs.
Exactly.
But I don't think he'll drop Casemiro like
I reckon Fred's gone. Fred's, because you were spot on. Fred was atrocious, so he's going to get dropped. But if Eriksen's fit, you're not going to play Eriksen?
Well, that's the dilemma he's got. He's either got to drop. He'll either drop Casemiro or Bruno, and I just can't see him dropping. I think he's going to learn the mistake of not playing a defensive midfielder. You know what I mean? In a game like that,
Casemiro has to play. I think it's going to be. Yeah, I think it's going to be Casemiro and McTominay. But I don't. But yeah, I agree with you. I'd put Eriksen in the number 10.
Just to see how he goes in that number 10 role without Bruno there. So.
Well, even people are talking about it. They're saying if you don't want to play Ronaldo, right, play Eriksen number 10 and play Bruno as a false 9. He's all the way up there all the time anyway. Like, do something. Yeah, change it up in the midfield. I agree.
Well, look, Anthony loves crossing the ball. Like, you just keep telling, put it on Ronaldo's head.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a chance that's clear cut at least once or twice a game. So.
Oh, definitely.
If I was Ten Hag, that would be my number 1 starting gameplay. Work the ball into a quick cross for Ronaldo.
Well, the thing is, we know Tottenham. We're going to have the ball, and sometimes, like we saw in the second half against Newcastle, that worries me because without Eriksen, we ain't breaking anyone down. So, and they don't want the ball. Tottenham, they don't care. They're happy to sit back and counter at the moment. It's working for them. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be.
And I noticed
Listen,
the tackling's been a bit sloppy lately, so I'm worried about the Son matchup with him.
yeah, yeah.
So that's going to be a concern for me. And I think we can handle Kane with Varane and Martinez, but yeah, I think Son, he'll be very dangerous on that left hand side.
Listen, they've got another clean sheet together, Martinez and Varane, and I mean against Man City, they technically only conceded one goal together because Varane went off injured. So, and before that, I think they had three clean sheets in a row or something. So they're playing well together. Like you can't.
Mm.
And listen, the thing is, do you give Varane a rest? Because is he going to play 3 games in a week as well? Like rotation has to come in. I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
But are you going to put Lindelof in against Son and that? I don't. I wouldn't want to.
I'll definitely play my best team that I got against Tottenham to try and
Get
secure
the
those three
points. Yeah.
work that. So I wouldn't rest players' anticipation of the Chelsea game. Or
Yeah. Yeah.
if I'll play the best thing I think will win the game for
Yeah.
Tottenham. So,
Genwell
but
says, I think Son will be all right. Varane is on that side. So he's got his happy with Varane.
mm,
I'm worried about
well,
Bentanker, he says. Yeah, he's a good player, man.
yeah, I mean, I think Casemiro and McTominay will start in the middle.
I think they
Just the
will.
question is, it was just an illness with Ericsson.
Apparently, and apparently Rashford was the same, but he was a bit better, like recovered a bit. So that's why he was on the
So
bench.
if it's just the flu or something, he could be back.
Yeah, I think
So
so, but it's just about I don't know, man. The way Ten Hag is at the moment, when he came to the club, there was all this talk about he's ruthless, is this, that. I was expecting him, you're ruthless. Like, Alex Ferguson was ruthless. He changed the team, he didn't give a shit. Like, Ten Hag barely changes the team. How is that ruthless? Like,
well, he's dropped certain players. You can say like
I
Maguire. You can
know,
say
but
he dropped
like,
Shaw.
like this, like you said with Bruno, like every game, like
Yeah, no,
Fergie used to drop
Bruno's the only.
Rooney when he was the best player in the world almost. Like him and Ronaldo, like give him
I
a
mean,
break.
he did saw that Sancho wasn't playing well. Did drop him a little bit until
Yeah.
injuries come in. But look with the Bruno one, that's right. He just can't drop Bruno for some reason. And Bruno looks like the player next who should be
Yeah, like
dropped.
he's
So
no Kevin De Bruyne. Like, he's not
no,
playing like him, so
no. Look, it'll be a good game. I'll be up for that one. I know it's 5:45, but
it,
I'll be at work.
yeah, I'll be up. I'll be watching it. 5:45. It's good time. I like it. 5:45. We'll
Yeah,
So, well, that leads us to. I know it's obviously before the next time we come on here, we would have played Tottenham, Chelsea. So they're two massive games, and I mean, I know it's
well,
it's early doors, but Potter is looking good with Chelsea. Like,
if we can manage at least 4 points from these two, I mean, we should have got at least 7 from these three, but 4 from these next two. I mean, if he gets all 6, that'd be fantastic. I just can't see it at the bridge, but I can see us beating Tottenham. If we can sneak a draw from Chelsea, I mean,
yeah.
we can kick the season. So we had, and if we do that, we've had played a lot of good teams.
Oh,
With the
definitely. Yeah, I
first,
agree. And the thing is, like you said, we've beaten
first
Arsenal, we've beaten Liverpool. Okay, we lost to Man City, but most people losing to them.
yeah. So
So
if we
Newcastle out
get,
the way.
we can play some of the easier teams down the bottom
Yeah. And that's when we'll start losing games.
to an Ollie.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
But I'm
I watched a
upset
bit of the
about.
Chelsea game. It was on during out, and they were Aston Villa had them a bit under the pump. I know they scored a direct free kick, and like so. I mean, listen,
Looks like
we're a better team than
creating a
Aston
few.
Villa.
No, they were actually creating a few chances
Oh,
against Chelsea.
big time.
So, but look, anyone can be beat any time.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
But yeah, I think must win for us against Tottenham.
Yeah, I'd listen. I agree with you. I think he's got to go. He's got to not worry about like the players for Chelsea. He's just got to put his strongest team in. Like if Ericsson's available, put him in. If it's a big call, and he's got to drop Bruno, do it. Which I mean, he's not gonna. I don't know how he's gonna go up front. Is Ronaldo gonna start? Listen, I don't think Rashford should start up front because Tottenham sit back. They don't. they play a low block. Rashford gets in behind, so I'd probably play Ronaldo and then play Rashford maybe against Chelsea. I don't know, or put Rashford in on the left, drop, put Sancho back on the bench. He didn't play that good against Newcastle, but
No,
yeah, I don't
the
know.
perfect game. Scored a hat trick against them last year. You got
Exactly.
to play him. You got to play Ronaldo against Tottenham. I mean, against Chelsea, I can see you playing Rashford up top,
Yeah.
and you might hit him on the break. But this Tottenham game, yeah, I think Ronaldo should definitely start.
Yeah, I agree. He's got to. I mean, listen, you got. It's so funny that we're sitting here. We got the world's all-time leading goal scorer, and we're saying we can't score goals. Like it mind boggles me. I don't know.
Yeah, and I
I don't
think
know what to say.
I think what's happened to Ronaldo as well with this preseason of all this speculation and this family stuff in his life has hindered his game a little
Oh,
bit.
it hasn't been good for him. That's for sure.
But look, we haven't been very serviceable for him as well. So
Nah, no way.
uh, we need to get better as a whole as a team.
Definitely.
Look, if you give Ronaldo a chance, he'll score. So just give him a chance. And he's our best striker, no matter what you think we've got at our club right now.
Oh,
He's our
definitely.
best striker.
Well, the other striker is like living in a nursing home. Like he's made of. You know who Martial is? You know the movie like Unbreakable, Samuel Jackson, the glass bloke. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Martial. They should do a meme, put his head on that Samuel Jackson character, like talking to Bruce Willis. Like he's made of glass, man.
Yeah, look, I really like Martial. I
Oh,
always
I do
have, but it's
too,
just
but
a
he's
it's
soft.
a yeah, shame, like he just all these soft tissue injuries, and that just tells you, he's not going to have a big career.
Nah, that's right. Rashford
So
will retire Silva like he did to Demichelis, Gen Will says. Listen, I remember when he did that to Demichelis. That was. Hopefully he does do that to Silva. He pisses me off, Thiago Silva.
well, let's get through the Tottenham game first. Then we'll worry
Yeah, I
about that
know. I
game.
agree. I agree. But yeah, like we're saying, so we'll talk about it a bit. Like we said, so Potter's obviously doing well with Chelsea. So
Are these the last two games before the World Cup, or there's
nah,
more?
no, 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 no way. What's the date? It's like World Cup isn't till the World Cup finishes mid 15th of December, so it's got to start 15th or something, I think, of November.
Be a few more
Yeah,
Prem
what are we
games.
on? We're still on say the 20th, that 19th tomorrow. Yeah, there'll be heaps, and they'll be doing 2 games a week. Like, and we
Yeah,
got a catch-up game against Palace. Where the hell's that going to go in? I think the World Cup finishes, and we got like 4 days off, and then we play on Boxing Day. Like, I don't know how that works out.
the final squads announced for the World Cup
I
yet?
think it was yesterday. I think Rob was saying to me.
So there's a lot. I'm not sure. I didn't see how many Man United
Oh,
players
I don't
aren't
know. I think
going.
Mark was saying on United Stand that we got. What did he say? I think he said 14 or something.
That aren't going.
No, I think 18 that aren't, but 14 going. So I
Okay.
don't know how that counts in. I mean, I'm not, you know,
Is Rashford going? Do you
I
know?
don't know. Don't know. I reckon he's going to go. I reckon Rashford goes.
Yeah.
This round of
Maguire's probably.
fixtures are all Premier League, Gen Will says. Yeah, they are. They're all. This is Tottenham is Premier League. Chelsea is Premier League, man. And then I think we've got Villa. I don't know how in one of the. I don't know if it's FA Cup or the other one. What's it called? The Milk Cup, League Cup.
Yeah.
Not sure if
Yeah.
it's that. But yeah, it's something like that. But yeah, these two are both Premier League. Chris C says we're nice guys, man.
He's a nice
He is
guy,
a nice
Chris.
guy, man. He should be working, or he's just.
And Mason Greenwood officially charged, I read.
Yeah, well, he's being charged. Yeah, like they said, like, I mean, it's. I guess not where our place to say about it is, but obviously still nothing. There's been no verdict on him, but he's been arrested. He's getting charged, so that means
Is,
there's something there.
is he still on our books,
I
or?
think Man United come out and said, listen, he is staying suspended until the verdict. So if he comes out and says he's
Okay.
guilty, though, his contract would just get terminated.
Okay, that's
So
what
I
they're
mean, I
playing.
guess that's what they have to do. What else can they do?
Yeah.
They're playing it the right way. They're just being. But listen, for him to be charged and it's going to court, I think in November,
There must be some.
something's there,
There.
isn't it? That's, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm here to speculate and whatever, but something's got to be there. Like, there's nothing more I can say, really.
Yeah, it's a pity, man. I hope to look. Yeah, I mean, if he's guilty, he's guilty. If he's not, great. But yeah,
Oh,
it is
listen,
what
I
it is.
said, I think me and you spoke about it when it first happened. I said it. If he's guilty, throw the book at him. I don't, to make an example of him so that they don't think these young athletes in any sport don't think they can just do whatever they want because they can't. But if he's
Yeah,
not guilty, so be it, and like hopefully he can somewhat even get 50% of what his career was meant to be because the kid was talented. That's 100%. Like he was a very talented player.
but there's some serious charges. If he
Oh,
gets guilty, that would be jail
oh, he's
time? I
done.
think, wouldn't
It's
it?
not just his career's over, his life's over, bro. Because it's attempted
Yeah.
rape, I think. Like,
Does that mean he could never play for any football club after that, even though it's not in England?
I don't know. I don't know what happened with Adam Johnson. I don't. Genwill says,
Because he's so
sport is a funny place. No more Europe. There will
just
be
because
more European games before the World Cup. They'll finish it, Genwill. Sorry, John, to cut you off.
out of Europa yet.
You lot heard of
And
Deshaun Watson in the NFL?
I have heard of him.
I have not. Listen, the first thing I'm going to say is America is a very different judiciary system than the UK, and the people there are very different. Like, if Kobe Bryant was a professional footballer in the Premier League, he would never have been Kobe Bryant, because he had accusations of things when he was young. But in America, it's completely different kettle of fish. That's what I think, anyway.
But athletes get the blind eye,
Oh,
like
I think so. Could you imagine that
look
was
the other way.
Kobe Bryant? Like, let's just say that was at the time the biggest. Let's say that's Ronaldo or Rooney in England gets done for accused of rape. Mate, he ain't playing for Man United. Like, you know that. Like, that ain't happening. Like, Chris C says, is Walter
Yeah,
White still our coach? Yeah, he is. 100 sexual charges and only a 6-week ban, Genwell's saying, that Deshaun Watson had.
wow.
Yeah, see, the thing is, United.
I think he's still
Well,
playing.
that's what I'm saying. The thing is, United won't. They'll terminate his contract. That's the difference.
100%. I just wonder if he could play for another
Yeah, I don't
club if
know,
he
but
gets out
that's.
of.
But what I mean is, like, straight up, that's the difference. Like, Man United will terminate his contract in a heartbeat. No, there'll
Yeah,
be. That's the difference. You know.
and so they should.
Oh,
You can't
100%.
violence against women. Should be no tolerance for
Listen,
that.
like, I'm not here to be talking about that, but that bloke, 100 sexual charges and he got a 6-week ban from the NFL. That's fucking ridiculous, bro. Not seriously.
Just one
What?
word.
Because he's got money? Fuck off, man.
America,
Oh,
man.
that's what I'm saying. It's a completely different kettle of fish. They, yeah. Listen, like, what's his name? Like, was it that Adam Johnson? He went to jail, and it was consensual, but she was underage.
Oh, yeah, that was texting and stuff like
Yeah,
that,
but
and
she admitted it was consensual, but he went to jail because she was. That's why I'm saying England and America is different.
yeah, I think 15 or something like that.
Yeah, whatever it was, but it was, it's like I said, you know,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. But is Tom Brady a better sportsman than Ronaldo? Chris C says. Ask me when it can be clipped, man. I told you this. He asked me this question today. Listen, Tom Brady, off topic, can be considered the
He's
best.
definitely one of
Listen,
the quarterbacks
he
ever.
can be considered the best NFL player ever, but I don't think a person is, and this goes the same for AFL. Someone that plays a sport that's only played in one country cannot be considered the best sports person ever. That's my opinion.
Hmm.
That's what Genwell says. Behave. He says Tom Brady is great, but it's a different role. Like Chris said, but he's won 7 Super Bowls. I go, yeah, but that's in fought against whatever. How many teams are in the NFL in one country? Ronaldo's won 5 European Cups and a European Championship with his country. Like,
I think it's a bad thing to compare. Like I think you could say he's the best
that's what I'm
one
saying.
of the
He's
best.
definitely one of the best NFL players ever.
Yeah,
But
but
no
sportsman.
way.
But I think he's a decent bloke.
Oh, he
So
probably is. Yeah, I've got no doubt about it. Like, he should be up there. Like, but when you're comparing, even Jordan,
I feel like,
Jordan played a sport as well, basketball that's played everywhere. Same with soccer. Like,
yeah, you could say the longevity of both of them have been just as good.
yeah,
You know what
that's
I mean,
that's
as well.
true. Listen, I know he's in his 40s, but is it as strenuous?
Well, you do get sacked and stuff like that in
Yeah,
NFL. You get some
true.
big hits. How do you get armor and stuff like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
on
yeah.
them?
Rob says
But
has to be internationals, club and continent, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it's played in one country. Listen, I'm not saying it's not a feat. It's like same with AFL players. I'm not saying it's not a feat to be a professional AFL player, but no AFL player is ever going to be considered the best sportsman ever
no,
because
no.
it's in one country. Rob says hi all, working late. I reckon Rob just didn't want to rock up because his team lost
Man,
to our eternal rivals.
uh,
What
Man
happened
City
there?
do, Man City do bleed.
And you know what's funny? You put it in our syndicate bet too.
Yeah, and then I lost when I did both teams to score.
I
I think,
know,
and that was it.
I know.
It is what it is.
Listen, I didn't see them getting anything out of that Liverpool, so power to them, like whatever. But hopefully, this just means Arsenal will win the league if United can't win it, because I definitely don't want City or Liverpool winning it. Gen was saying what you said.
Right.
He goes, they wear padding, man. They get sacked. But listen, they get sacked by some big boys as well. But
Yeah, I mean, the padding I know, but you would feel the impact still.
yeah, of course.
Not as much as the rugby boys, but yeah.
Rob says Klopp is still a better coach, and this is a Man City fan. Foden is a big girl's blouse. Doesn't upset at Foden.
That Klopp getting red card, he's just a moron sometimes the way he speaks to referees. Like that's just really aggressive.
Listen, he
Like
went in crazy, didn't he? And do you remember, listen, and I don't condone when he was doing it, but do you remember when Mourinho said it when he was our coach? He was like, if I did anything like that, I'd be banned. And it's the first time they've actually ever sanctioned him. If that was Mourinho, man, he'd be done for months.
because he does that a lot, doesn't he,
He
Klopp? I
gets in
mean,
their
that was
face, doesn't he? Real right, like,
very aggressively.
oh, it was crazy. Like yeah, he's an idiot. Like he's dumb, isn't he? Like I agree. It's moronic. Like it's stupid.
I'm looking forward to him and Conte going head to
Oh,
head.
dude, that one would be the best. I was watching Conte the other night, and listen, I hope he doesn't do it against us on Wednesday, but it cracks me up so much when he celebrates. I think in my head, like he does that for every goal. He loses
No,
it.
no,
Like is he gonna have an aneurysm? Every
he
goal, he
would have been.
runs like crazy.
He would have been alright as a coach, man.
I would have had Conte.
But
I would have. Rob is saying it as well. Yeah, Conte does too, but I don't think Conte goes in the officials. He remonstrates, but he doesn't do like what Klopp does. Klopp, he was it was a bit full on. Like Rob's here now. Rob's a referee. Like we can go back to the Newcastle game before we finish anything. That was a stonewall penalty on Sancho, right? So you can comment there. Genwell says, I swear if Spurs win the league rather than Arsenal, Arsenal should fold. Their fans bury themselves 6 foot deep to avoid everything. You know what? Listen.
have Tottenham won the league before?
Definitely not a Premier League, but they've won a league, I think, yeah, like, but 60s or something.
All
Or
right.
like even further back, I'm not. It's weird. It's weird now they celebrate, then VAR cancels the goal, Rob is saying. Yeah, no, that's what cracks me up about the celebrations. Oh, Rob is saying yes, penalty on Sancho. See?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
listen,
you
like
said,
Conte. Sorry to cut you off there. Like, I just hope he doesn't do that celebration against us, man. It's.
well, Ten Hag's pretty cool and collect on the sidelines. You never see
Yeah, I
him.
like it.
He does a little celebration here and there when we
He
score,
like
but
does
not
little.
not.
He's Dutch, man. It's like Dennis Bergkamp used to score a goal that like was the most freakish goal in the world, and he'd just get his knuckle and just go, yeah, like it was like,
It's
yeah, I can do that. It's like nothing.
it's just the arrogancy of the
Yeah,
Dutch,
that's
isn't
it's,
it?
that's he's like, yeah, just that's the best. Like, that's how they roll. They don't care. Listen,
Good
like
on him.
before we go, like so we'll say what You reckon we're gonna win? What are you give us a score prediction?
2-1 United, I reckon. So I reckon we'll get the win.
Genwell says, have you been checking the fallen one? He reckons Roma in the mud.
Roma in the mud. Did they lose again
I know
last night?
he called him the fallen one, so let's have a look. I think they won, didn't they? I'm not sure. They won 1-0 against Sampdoria away. They're
No,
fourth. They're fourth. How are they in the mud? They're 4 points off top.
I don't really follow Serie A that much, but
Listen, I he's so blockbuster and people always like bag him, but it for me with Mourinho, the way I see it is that I'm not the biggest fan of how he plays, and I wasn't the biggest fan of him when he was with us. But mate, how can you forget what that guy's done as a coach? Give him his
it was
credit.
definitely
Give him his props. Like, mate, he won Champions League
he's
with teams that should never have won the Champions Leagues.
definitely one of the best managers. Like he'll be up there
Oh,
in the
mate, he's
Hall
one
of
of the
Fame.
best ever. Like, 100% agree. Like, there's
Up
no
there
one
with
has
Jam.
any right to win the Champions League with Porto. You know how people saying like Leicester winning the league? Like, Porto had no right to win the Champions League, and then even Inter had no right to win it. Like, so yeah, yeah, he reckons but they're not playing well. Again, we're saying well, Mourinho's teams never play well. They just somehow seem to have a trophy. I don't know. Well,
Congrats to Benzema, right?
yeah,
Definitely
Ballon d'Or,
deserved
yeah,
it.
100%,
100%.
100%. Yeah, no one was close to him. I don't think. I think they said he scored 27 La Liga goals, 15 Champions League goals.
Yeah, definitely. The Champions League was,
Like,
that was amazing what he did for Real Madrid in the Champions League.
dude. I mean, and I like what I like about it is obviously Ronaldo and Messi have done it as well, but guys winning Ballon d'Ors at 34, 35, proving that
Yeah, it's,
proving they're not done. Like
how old was did Modric win it or
Modric
no?
was probably the same when he won it, 34, 35, I reckon. Ronaldo and Messi definitely won it at that age. Now Benzema going 35, like effort
Yeah.
and a half, man.
No, definitely deserved it.
Oh,
What a great, especially league, unbelievable.
oh man, I know a former colleague of ours that once said he felt like Benzema was stealing a paycheck at Real Madrid. And I said to him,
Who said?
you could put two and two together." And I told him he was creaming.
Uh, Back in the day.
I said to him, "You're creaming, mate, if you think that." It's more
Oh,
of that.
jeez.
I wonder what's the tax cut in France. Again, we saying Mbappe's wages. I think there's no tax in. I think it's Monaco. That's why like Falcao and all that will go in there, or it's like real low. Not that there's no tax, sorry, but the Monaco tax is ridiculously low. I don't know why. I don't know about PSG, but as if he cares. He's getting paid that much. He came out today. See what he said today? Remember I said to you it could all be media? He came out today and he goes, all these stories saying that I'm unhappy in Paris. He goes, a load of shit. He goes, I love it here. And I said that to you. I go, it could just be once a player gets so big, it happened to Ronaldo, that they just make them villains.
Yeah, pretty
Like,
much.
let him go. Let him do what he's got to do.
Papa's not moving, man.
Yeah.
Who could have?
Listen,
Man United couldn't.
maybe what is he's only young. Maybe 26, 27, he goes to Madrid just because he can. Like something like that, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Because think about it, he's only a kid still. Like he's not even in his prime. Like it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous when you think about it. All right, before we go, we'll give that. I'll give you that. You said 2-1. I'm gonna say I don't reckon we're gonna concede to Tottenham. I reckon 2-0. Sane, what? No, sorry. Son and Kane, they're going to be held by Varane and Martinez, I reckon, 2-0. And then since we're not going to be on until that next game anyway, give us a little, it doesn't have to be certain, but give us a little prediction for Chelsea.
0-0.
0-0. Neymar in court over Barcelona transfer, Rob says. Was that tax too? I heard that the court proceedings started today, so I don't know what that means, but it amazes me that these guys they get so much money and then they still want to avoid tax. Like who cares? If you're still getting 300 grand a week, like big deal.
Like 60 grand of that week goes to tax or whatever, 100
Big
grand.
deal. Genwell says, but I'm still sticking to Haaland 3 year cycle. He reckons he might only be at City for 3 years. Well, I hope so.
Well, it's hard to say because his old man played there, so there's got sentiment there.
You know, I was watching this thing today with like Ferdinand. They asked Rio Ferdinand this question, and I'll ask you it. They said to him, "Do you think he would score goals like this if he had to play against the defenses of 10, 15 years ago?" Because they were saying the people he plays up against, and then Rio said it. Rio goes, "Well, what you got to think about?" He goes, "Imagine he played us." He goes, "It's me and Vidic." He goes, "He's got Roy Keane to deal with as well." He goes, "At Arsenal, he's got Campbell, Toure, and Patrick Vieira to deal with." Is he dealing with anything like that these days?
No, I think I said
You
this
said
to
it
you
to
a
me, yeah,
while ago.
yeah. No, it was. I think you said it about a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about it.
In general, there's not as many world class players as there were back in the day. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like, I mean, just going back 10 years ago, there was way more world class players going around, in my
yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah.
So, defenders definitely caliber have dropped off. Um, you know, so
Yeah,
especially
listen, I
those,
agree, 100%.
I think he would have had. He wouldn't score as many goals. I don't think.
No, I agree.
So
Like, listen, I said this to you about. I agreed with you when you're saying it. It's like just those partnerships. Like you can go through some of them: Terry Carvalho, Vidic, Ferdinand, Adams, Keown, and Adams, Bold, Campbell, Toure. This is just like off the top of my head, like ridiculous partnerships. Now, what's the best partnership? I don't know. Van Dijk and Matip. Gattuso on Haaland, like Rob is saying. Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you got they got these killer defensive midfielders to worry about too. Like I said, like Roy Keane and like Vieira, Gattuso. Rob reckons 3-1 United and then 2-0 United. Rob never usually backs us to win. He's tipped us to win both.
no, he's feeling generous since his team lost. You know,
Listen, that's the note. What the note we'll leave on is the question I'll ask you.
gods can bleed.
Gods can bleed. Can Arsenal win the title?
They definitely, mathematically can, and the position states that they can.
Yeah.
But do I think they will? I think no.
Yeah.
But they definitely, if that answers the
Yeah, no,
question.
no, I know what you mean. Oh, because I was reading this article today, and the article, what it said was, it said, listen, it was pretty much saying the Premier League isn't as strong this year as everyone thinks it is. Like, there's Man City with Haaland and that, but look at them, they're not even top. Arsenal are top. They're saying,
They're not even
yeah,
second.
that's what they're saying. Without you knowing it, anyone could come out. Even Liverpool could still win the title. Like, United could be in a title race. Arsenal, Tottenham, like, they're just saying it's when you actually
No,
break it down.
I think it's a great season building up.
Yeah,
So
even
it
Chelsea. I forgot. I didn't even mention Chelsea then. Like they're looking goods.
looks like there's going to be at the moment. It looks like it's going to be a fairly decent title race at the moment,
Yeah,
and the relegation battle is really tight there. So as
yeah.
well, so
I agree with
it's going to
Rob.
be
He
an
said Arsenal will fall short, not enough depth, and that's what I think. It's their. Imagine I don't know. Someone goes, they lose a key player from the World Cup, an injury or something. That's going to derail them big time.
yeah. I mean, that Saka's playing very well. I believe he'll be going to
I
England.
listen. He's got to. I think he has to start for England on the right. I don't think they got anyone better. Like in
I'm not sure
form wise.
does Martinelli start for Brazil or
I
they
don't
got too
think so. I
many
think
good attacks.
they've been playing. I think Anthony,
They got
Neymar,
Vinicius.
and Vinicius. I think that's who they play. Anthony, Neymar, and then they got that Rodrigo from Real Madrid. Jesus doesn't even get a run. They got Richarlison who gets a gig with Brazil, and he's not. He's just got injured, but they reckon he'll be fine. I don't even think Marta. He's on the bench. I think he doesn't really get a.
Mm,
Genwell says, who have they faced? Titles are decided when you play a top six side. Well, they lost to us. They beat Liverpool.
they beat, but they haven't played City.
No.
They had the Tottenham derby. They beat Tottenham.
So they beat Tottenham and Liverpool. So I mean that's just like saying us. We beat Arsenal and Liverpool. You got to give them their props. Oh yeah, Rafinha as well. Again was saying from Leeds that went to Barca. So they got him as well. I mean they're stacked Brazil. Like,
Yeah, for attacking wise, they're stacked
oh
big
dude,
time.
I reckon this is this is going to be their best year since they've won it, I reckon. They haven't looked this strong since they won it, I don't think.
They're the favourites, so
Yeah, oh, they'll be
interesting.
up there. They'll be up there.
Yeah.
All right, well, on that note, we touched on everything. We'll call it a night. Thanks for everyone for coming in the chat. Thanks, Rob, for predicting Man United will win both games. And John has gone for a win and a draw. I'm going with Rob. I'm going 2 wins. We'll knock them both off. Potter's got nothing on Ten Hag.
That's
We'll,
it.
we'll,
That's it.
we'll smash them. Don't at me comes in right at the end and he goes, "What's going on?" Don't at me. How are you? Sorry you come in late. Me and John are just finishing up, but thanks for coming, saying hello. Please, everyone that's there, give the show a like. That's if there's any people in the background just watching, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.